The reason why La Liga can no longer compete on the same level with Premier League teams is simply because Javier Tebas.
Now, so there are just three major factors to which I differ from. My opinion differ from what Combo said. Number one is the Premier League focused on building a brand and marketing the Premier League as a brand, as opposed to the Liga that just try to retain this cultural feeling about their league and their football. You know, the Premier League invested heavily in marketing and branding the league and the clubs within the league. You know, and then secondly, the Premier League welcomed fully ownership from like foreign ownership of clubs, as opposed to the Spanish La Liga, whereby foreign ownership of clubs is not as easy as it is in the Premier League. The Premier League is as easy as if you have the money enough to acquire a club. Once the person is willing to sell, you buy and invest as much as you want to invest in the club. At least that is how it was, at least up until the last 10 years, right? That's how it was. So, but the La Liga have a different fashion of owning clubs. Clubs like Real Madrid and Barcelona are not clubs that a foreign investor can just come and buy and invest in. Clubs like Athletic Bilbao, who have certain policies like only signing players within the Basque region, you know, are part of the things that are hampering the league from actually moving forward. And then it feels, as opposed to the La Liga, as opposed to the Premier League, La Liga feels like it is controlled by just three clubs, which is the Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Atletico Madrid. And it feels like every other club in the league don't necessarily have a voice, you know. So the club is dependent on whatever those three big teams want, as opposed to a Premier League whereby there are at least, you know, well off 8 teams that are financially good enough to compete with anybody in the world. As a matter of fact, the teams who even in EFL teams, like the championship teams, are good enough to even overspend a lot of La Liga teams. So it is not really just a Javier Tebas issue. While Javier Tebas actually had his own problem in terms of ruining the La Liga by introducing his strict, you know, financial policies on the league. So while Javier Tebas actually has a hand, right, in where La Liga is right now, it's not completely Javier Tebas' fault why the league is where it is. That is just my opinion.